We have a Coppola questions before we move on.
Coppola questions here. We kind of answered this one, but is that her pee in that vial?
Is what?
Is it her pee in that little vial? Not her pee. Is it herpes in that vial?
It would have to be, really.
I'm guessing. Why? Not worth asking, I guess.
No.
We also kind of answered this one, but, why did they feel the need to rappel out of the helicopter when they were just going to land 10 seconds later?
Yeah.
What did the hostages eat while they were in there?
I mean,
sand.
No.
I wondered the same thing. Like, what were they feeding them, and when were they taking them to the bathroom? Between all,
and there's toilets in the cells.
Yeah, so
there's that.
And the plumbing still works.
Plumbing apparently works according to
works. Just like the heating and the power and everything.
Yeah. I'm pretty positive that plumbing does not work in there.
If I was one of those prisoners, I would be like, just slay me. I'm not going to take a shit in a crowded cell.
Take a shit in front of that black guy stereotype over there.
Just slay me.
I mean, there is a gift shop with like popcorn and
snacks. I mean, they only had it for like 40 hours. I
guess it's true. As
long as they got them water, they'd probably be fine.
Yeah, true.
They let all the kids go, so they don't have to worry about feeding those.
Why would they bring Carla to the command center rather than just send her home?
Yeah. That's why I was saying he should have just like asked the FBI to like detain her or something or
send
anything. Just get her out. Yeah.
Yeah. We had to have that character emotional weight throughout, just to cut to her face reacting to whatever's happening.
Stupid reactions.
Clear the hell over on Alcatraz. Why weren't there motion sensors around the rockets, but were in some random shower like way off in the distance?
That one I really think is because the rockets were supposed to be guarded at all times, but then that kind of fell apart as the infighting happened and they started picking off people one by one.
But then why are there not motion sensors anywhere else besides that one location?
Maybe there are, and we just didn't see them because that's where they came in, was through there.
But like John and Stanley walk around the prison all over the place.
Yeah,
and
true.
They never trigger anything else. There's no motion sensor in the lighthouse when they go over there.
Yeah.
There's no motion sensor up on the roof.
I don't know. Hummel's a genius. He's a tactical genius.
He knew exactly where they would come in. Yeah. I mean, maybe, possibly that is the reason.
I mean, it would make a certain amount of sense as a non-military person, just me thinking like, just put motion sensors on the like likely areas of ingress and then not bother with other places because, once they show up, they're there. You don't need motion sensors everywhere.
Yeah.
And then just rely on the rest of the Marines to patrol and catch people.
Yeah. Guess that's true. We sort of asked this in the moment, but why was the morgue chilled?
Plot point.
Make any sense?
That's just it.
Yeah.
Plot, just for the plot.
Like, why do they even have to have the stuff be chilled in the first place? Because it raises that question. Like,
yeah, because they're not chilled in the rockets.
Yeah.
Mostly these don't have answers, I feel like.
Yeah.
We also asked this, why didn't John release the hostages when he had a chance?
Yeah, I think it's what you said. Like, it's just, that's the safest place for him right now.
Yeah.
Is because he also knows, because he'd talked to Hummel at that point, right? So he knew Hummel wasn't going to kill him.
He walked past the hostages to talk to Hummel.
He hadn't talked to him yet. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, maybe he just didn't
just
want to deal with a bunch of them. Yeah, they're kind of contained. He's got the situation under control as it is. He doesn't need the
more chaos.
He doesn't need the unexpected complication of a bunch of hostages running around.
Yeah, I do think it would be the from a tactical standpoint, that is the safest place for them. If they start running around, it's just going to cause utter chaos, and they'll probably all get killed by the Marines. Why not just shoot Mason and Goodspeed in that scene where they were both, in a situation where they could be killed? Why lock them up in the prison? I mean, Hummel doesn't know that Mason knew how to get out of one of those prison cells. I mean, I'm sure he thought there's no way in hell that this guy's going to be able to get out of here.
I think he just didn't want to kill anymore.
Doesn't want to kill any more people.
He didn't want to kill the SEALs.
Yeah.
He is yelling like ceasefire the whole time that those guys are being wasted. But damn also, you for making me do this.
Mason's a military man because he talked to him about being a soldier or whatever in the British Army, and Stanley's a FBI agent, doesn't want to kill any other government employees or anything like that. So,
in a weird way, Mason is sort of the thing that that Hummel is fighting for is like somebody who was on a secret mission who was just left behind by his government, basically
screwed by two governments.
Mm-hmm. And then my final question is, why are they driving that old crappy car? Also, where the hell did that bulldog come from?
There's a dog?
Yeah, there's a dog with him.
There's a dog. They got a bulldog.
This is some sort of like weird dream sequence. Was Stanley killed for knowing too much, and this is like his last thoughts?
Homage to Terminator when they have a dog driving through Mexico at the end of it.
It's just a very weird scene. He's wearing like that same stupid hat he wore in Matchstick Men.
Pygmies.
It's just kind of pointless. Like the whole thing is dumb. Yeah. That whole ending is stupid.
Yeah, had to stupid ending. Leave him with something funny. Didn't really have a good ending, if they leave it at him just walking away from Alcatraz. And we've set up that this microfilm exists through the whole movie. So
right, they use it as sort of not really a MacGuffin, but a plot device. Yeah. So I guess you got to leave that part thing. I think it would have just been better to have him and Carla with their kid walking around somewhere, and Mason sees them at a coffee shop or something and shows the microfilm or something, puts it back in his pocket. Like
the end
I'm free, I still got
the
it.
Nolan Batman trilogy.
Yeah, right. I was going to say, it's like the scene from the Batman.
But I mean, I think that would have worked well for this movie because it would have shown Mason got out. He's still alive. He's got the microfilm.
Yeah. I think we're left
Stanley's
to assume,
happy with his wife and kid.
Yeah. Because we don't really see an ending to Mason's story, but we're left to assume that he reconnected with his daughter.
Right. But now it's like...
Presumably never gets caught again.
Right. But now it's like, well, Stanley's got the microfilm for some reason. Why? I guess to set up a sequel that never happened.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it was just a way of making a funny ending to it. I don't know.
Talked about this earlier, almost calling them all patriots, but also they're really in it for $1 million. But then I guess that's to set up what happens at the end with them all, the ones that are left actually being just in it for the money, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think at a certain point,
really wanting to kill thousands of civilians.
Yeah. At a certain point, they've lost everything, and so they want to see fulfillment of this, idea that they've been pushing along for all this time.
My other one was why does Goodspeed freak out so much about going on the mission, throwing up in the bathroom and stuff, when earlier we saw him defuse the bomb under pressure and he's totally fine with it, that's his element and stuff. I guess it's just the thought of being under fire, maybe going into a combat situation is completely different from almost being blown up by C4 and killed by horrible sarin gas. But it doesn't seem like it.
They sort of set this up as almost like a suicide mission going on to that island. And
yeah, but they've already established he does well under pressure and he doesn't really he minds. He obviously doesn't want to die, but he's okay in life or death situations. He keeps his cool and knows what to do. It just seemed like a weird character inversion.
I think it's because it's two different situations. One's controlled where he knows that if he can handle a situation, he walks out of that chamber. The other one, he's walking into a bunch of unknown with highly trained Marines who he thinks would shoot him in a heartbeat.
So I guess plus Mason, he thinks Mason's a murderer.
Yeah.
Guy's been locked up.
Yeah, he doesn't know Mason's story.
It's a pretty intimidating thing to
I just see weird when they already showed how he can handle life or death stuff just fine and actually be kind of heroic about it. But then to show him be totally freaked out about this. Again, before, is Goodspeed a chemical expert or an explosives expert? Which one is he? I know he's a chemical expert, but they also sort of show him as being an explosive expert, but they don't really mention that other than he's got all his education is in chemistry.
Yeah.
And he nerds out about that.
He's a genius. I mean, you saw that Rube Goldberg thing that he set up. No, he's just incredibly smart. Those are always the sign that you're absolutely brilliant.
Set up a Rube Goldberg.
Pee-wee, good speed.
Yeah.
So Mason, if Mason escaped, when he escaped from Alcatraz, he had to come through that furnace that he memorized all of the machinations of. But there was a locked door that they couldn't come through to come in to Alcatraz. So on his way out, wouldn't he have been able to just go through that door? Why did he have to like? Why was the door was locked from the other side as they were trying to come in? So presumably, as he was leaving, that door would have been unlocked from that side, and he could have just walked through it. Why did he have to go back through the furnace to unlock the door to let them in?
That's a really good question.
You're not supposed to think about that.
I don't know. I don't have any answer for that one. Maybe he came through all of the mining cart stuff and then had to go through that door to get some.
But I don't think he didn't know about the mining cart stuff, because I think at some point they ask him. He doesn't know what any of this stuff is, or like the mining situation. Like I don't think he's familiar with those tunnels. If I remember right, there's something he says. But anyway, that was just one of the ones that confused me. Like, he had to come through this room, obviously, so why couldn't he just go through the door he just used to unlock and let all the seals in?
He also says that he waited for the tides on that. So, like, was the cistern empty when he broke out and, like, crawled through?
Might have been,
yeah.
He spent 2 days waiting or something like that? Or was it just waiting for I don't remember.
So, here's another question. Is like, okay, theoretically, if he had opened his cell the way that he showed in the movie, they would have heard it. They would have totally heard him opening his cell. And there would have been
guards watching it.
And he also made it seem like he knew this whole tunnel system backwards and front, so he had to escape like every freaking night for months in order to like figure out all of that stuff. So he was opening the door with a rope every freaking night. All the other cellmates would hear that too. Like everybody would have known.
Or he only opened the cell once, got into the tunnels, and then spent however long navigating the tunnels and learning it while he was down there like Gollum, and then escaped. And he had a photographic memory, so he remembered the pathway. Or he was just bullshitting. He didn't actually remember the tunnels. He just wanted to use it as an excuse to get on the island so he could escape.
I took it as he wanted to use that as a way to get, escape from the FBI. He never planned on like going back with them. He would ditch and.
Which, although in that case, then why did he let him through the door in the first place after he got through the furnace?
Because he still needs them to go accomplish their shit, so he can then sneak away.
So he can escape. Yeah, because they were blocking his only way out at that point.
Yeah.
Other ones we talked about. Why is there a football game in the morning? At the end when Stanley's going to disarm the last bomb, he's like running up the stairs with the VX poison in his hand. Like, and earlier he's like telling Mason to be completely like stable with it. He's like, that's the most dangerous stuff in the world. Be careful with it. And by the end, he's just like sprinting up the stairs holding it.
He can't hesitate.
Yeah, I guess he can't. He's out of time at that point.
Be hilarious.
I guess if he doesn't run, he's going to get shot anyway. So, and then why does Mason tell him where the microfilm is again? Like, what's the point of that? Now he just puts him in danger of these secrets.
Final payoff of the movie.
It's the only reason I can think of. Just so people would be completely unsatisfied with that.
Who's he going to tell about those secrets? Russia?
Or Mason could just tell him, like, I destroyed them or something. Like, there are no microfilms. I got rid of them. They're gone. So that's why I can't tell them where they're at. They don't believe me that they don't exist anymore or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who do you think killed JFK?
Snowden.
Obviously somebody that Stanley recognizes just by looking at it in the microfilm. So.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
It's Womack. Oh.
It's Womack. It's Mason. Selfie of him with the body.
Is that James Bond?
Selfie of him with Lee Harvey Oswald in the book depository.
You're a good man.